Grandma, look under Daddy's chair at the wedding. You need to see what Vanessa did. When my 6-year-old grandson Marcus whispered those words in my ear, I had no idea that what I'd find would expose a lie that had torn our family apart for 3 years. My name is Margaret, and for 3 years I'd been cut off from Marcus. My son David had forbidden me from seeing him because of something his fiancée Vanessa claimed I'd said, that she wasn't Marcus's real mother. I never said it, but David believed her. Marcus's mother, Rachel, died of cancer when he was only 18 months old. I'd been there every day afterward, helping David through his grief, raising Marcus alongside him. Before Rachel died, she'd held my hand and made me promise, take care of my boys. I kept that promise until Vanessa came along. At first, I was thrilled. David deserved happiness again. But slowly, Vanessa began suggesting I visited too often, that I was undermining their parenting. Every boundary I respected led to new complaints. David, desperate for love after his grief, saw everything through her eyes. The breaking point came at Marcus's 4th birthday. I'd baked his favorite chocolate dinosaur cake, staying up until midnight to perfect it, but Vanessa had ordered an expensive professional cake, and my homemade one stole the spotlight. 2 days later, David told me Vanessa had heard me tell Marcus she wasn't his real mother. I tried to explain. Marcus had found a photo of Rachel and asked who she was. I'd told him his mommy loved him and was in heaven, and that Vanessa loved him too. I never said she wasn't his mother. David didn't believe me. He said, I need you to stay away from Marcus. No visits, no calls. If you can't respect our family, you're not welcome in it. The next 3 years were the darkest of my life. My calls were blocked, my letters returned unopened, a legal battle for grandparents' rights went nowhere. David testified I was emotionally manipulative, and the judge sided with them. I drove by Marcus's school sometimes, just hoping to glimpse him. Once I saw him on the playground, so much taller. I wanted to run to him, but I stayed in my car, crying, knowing it would only make things worse. Then 6 months ago, a wedding invitation arrived. David and Vanessa were getting married, and at the bottom was a handwritten note. Mom, Marcus misses you. Please come. We can start fresh. Those 3 words, Marcus misses you, broke and healed me simultaneously. The wedding was elegant, held at a country club with manicured gardens. I sat in the 3rd row, heart pounding as Marcus walked down the aisle as ring bearer. When he passed me, his face lit up. "Grandma," he started to say before being ushered forward. During cocktail hour, Marcus found me. After we hugged, he looked around nervously and whispered, "Grandma, under Daddy's chair at the head table, there's something taped there. You need to see what Vanessa did." Before I could ask more, Vanessa swooped in, grabbing his arm. "Marcus, you're not supposed to bother the guests." She pulled him away, but he looked back with pleading eyes and mouthed one word, "Please." I couldn't stop thinking about it. What could be under David's chair? After dinner, when everyone was dancing and the head table was empty, I made my move. My hands trembled as I felt under David's seat. There. An envelope. I grabbed it and rushed to the bathroom. Inside were letters, emails, and text messages. The first letter was in Vanessa's handwriting, dated 3 years ago. Phase 1. Complete. Margaret is out of the picture. David believes she's undermining our relationship. I told him she said I'm not Marcus's real mother. He ate it up. Men are so easy when desperate for validation. With Margaret gone, I control David. I control the money. Rachel left $2.3 million in a trust for Marcus. Once I'm David's wife, I'll convince him to use it for our future. By the time Marcus is 18, there won't be anything left. My hands shook. The text confirmed everything, messages to her friend bragging about the manipulation, about targeting David specifically for Rachel's insurance money. Marcus had found this evidence and hidden it, waiting for me. I found David's sister Jennifer and showed her. Together with her husband Tom, a private investigator, we devised a plan. We needed Vanessa to confess in her own words. Jennifer invited Vanessa to the garden for a private chat. I was, coincidentally, there. Tom hid nearby with a recording device. I wanted to apologize. Help me understand, when did you first realize I was undermining you? Vanessa, flush with triumph, was happy to recount her victories. From the beginning, Margaret was too possessive, but I turned it around. I made David see she was competing with me instead of supporting us. How did you make him see that? Jennifer asked innocently. Vanessa laughed. It wasn't hard. David's so guilt-ridden about Rachel's death. I told him, Margaret said, I'm not Marcus's real mother. He ate it up. Men like David, grieving, guilty, desperate, they're easy to manage once you figure out their pressure points. We had her. When I mentioned Marcus's trust fund, she slipped further. We've been using it for our future. David is the trustee, and I'm his wife. That money is just as much mine. She stopped, realizing her mistake. We returned to the reception and connected my phone to the sound system. The music stopped. I played the recording for everyone. David's face went white as Vanessa's voice filled the ballroom, admitting she'd lied, manipulated him, planned to steal Marcus's inheritance. Tell me that's not you, David said, his voice breaking. Vanessa tried to explain, but David was done listening. When I show him the printed documents Marcus had found, he read them with shaking hands. Marcus, David asked our grandson, did she hurt you? Marcus nodded through tears. She locked me in the dark closet. She said if I told, you wouldn't believe me. David's cry of anguish echoed through the ballroom. He pulled Marcus close. I'm so sorry, buddy. I should have protected you. He looked at Vanessa. Get out. This marriage is over. We'll get it annulled. You need to leave. Now. Faced with recordings, evidence of child abuse, and fraud, Vanessa fled. The marriage was annulled within 2 weeks. Vanessa signed away all claims in exchange for no criminal charges. David sold his house to repay the $300,000 she'd spent from Marcus's trust. Healing took time. Marcus had nightmares. David battled guilt. But slowly, with therapy and love, we rebuilt what Vanessa had tried to destroy. 2 years later, we learned Vanessa had been arrested by the FBI. She'd been running romance scams for over a decade, defrauding 7 men of over $3 million. David hadn't been her first victim. She was sentenced to 18 years in prison. Today, Marcus is 9 and thriving. David has learned to listen, to trust his instincts, to value family. Every Sunday, they come for dinner. We cook, laugh, and appreciate every moment together. Marcus still calls me his hero, but he's wrong. That brave little boy who found evidence, hid it away, and whispered in my ear at a wedding, he saved us all. If there's anything I want people to take from our story, it's this. Real love doesn't isolate you from family. Listen to children when they say something is wrong. Document everything when your instincts scream danger. And never give up fighting for the people you love. The bond between a grandmother and grandson survived 3 years of separation, manipulation, and one woman's calculated cruelty. Because real love endures. It survives. It wins. Always.